Good evening, and welcome to another World of Warships video with Captain Darkwing Glacier. In this battle, I am taking out my Tier 6 Premium French cruiser, the Grasse. Now, the Grasse is similar, I think it's a variation of the Tech Tree French Tier 6 cruiser, or that would be repetitive, or redundant, La Galissonnière. Or Galissonnière. Yeah, I'm still working out on how to pronounce that one. But fortunately, de Grasse is a little bit easier to pronounce than that, so I will just talk about this ship from now on, since it's the one I'm using in this battle. So, this is actually a ship that I got in a Santa crate this year. My good friend Battelaire, who I often division up with, sent me some Santa crates for my birthday in December, and lo and behold, one of the crates opened up and provided this ship. So I am eager to take it out and see what she can do. Unfortunately, I do not have a high-level captain on this ship yet, so I don't believe I have Concealment Expert. The captain may only be a 5-point captain, I think, so I believe I got Preventative Maintenance and maybe Turret Traverse or Adrenaline Rush. I'm not entirely sure, but I got Preventative Maintenance because this ship apparently can have its rudder disabled very easily, so I wanted to prevent that, and instead of getting the normal Tier 1 skill, which is Priority Target. So I do have Hydro on this ship. I also do have a Catapult Fighter, so I have limited AA defense, but I should be able to detect torpedoes on their way in. Unfortunately, there are carriers in this game, so I am going to have to worry about enemy planes, because apparently the anti-air suite on this ship isn't as good as some other ships at this tier. So I detect that we have a Leander and a Grasse approaching us. We do have a T-61 and a Fushun here, and another cruiser, Perth, with us, so it's probably going to be, you know, an even fight. There's almost certainly enemy destroyers out here that we need to worry about. We just haven't spotted them yet. So I just start firing HE shells at the Grasse, hoping to set them on fire. And my aim hasn't been all that great. There we go, one fire. He's now starting to move behind the island. The enemy drops his bombs upon the T-61, trying to harass him. And I am just continuing to advance. There are some torpedoes heading towards the Grasse. Hopefully he's going to take at least one. And yep, looks like he took one torpedo. I fire my torpedoes, which have a decent, I believe it's 8-kilometer range. And I start switching to AP because he's showing a lot of broadside at this point. And I do get some penetrating hits, so he is in a world of hurt now. He's still burning. Another AP velocity. I switch back to HE because now he is going bow on. He has more torpedoes coming at him from the right from our Fushun, which complete the kill. Now there's an enemy Fubuki over there. My #1 turret has been taken out, so I cut my engine so I don't go behind the island and mask him from my gun, so I can get maybe another salvo off on him. And get a couple hits there, and I incapacitated. Looks like he's steering, but he's still going to be able to get away. In the meantime, we have the Leander directly in front of us, and I'm going to try to smoke fire him, see if I can do that. Yes, I get 2 penetrating hits. Unsurprisingly, there are torpedoes coming from that smoke. I do have my Hydro turned on, so I'm able to spot them with plenty of time to evade. And I'm waiting for my guns to reload and see if I can get another smoke shot, but it doesn't look like I have to. I have AP loaded because he is showing way too much broadside, and I get 3 Citadels on him and 2 over penetrations. Come on, guns, you can reload faster than that. Let's get the kill. Your turret fires, more overpens, and there we go, finally 2 more Citadels, and I get kill #1. There is a T-22 here. I'm currently firing AP at him, but I switch quickly to HE. Torpedoes are on the way, and our Perth looks like he's gonna take some damage there. I think I'm fast enough that I'm not gonna be hit by the torpedoes. Looks like the Perth actually dodged them as well. Yep, there was no way I was gonna let that T-22 get away from us, especially since I believe he already used his smoke, so there wasn't much chance of him surviving. So now I turn around and I start focusing on the Fubuki again, who has shown himself. And taking a quick look at the status, we are down 1 ship. because we have lost a cruiser and a destroyer. They have lost 2 cruisers and 1 destroyer. They look like they have more or less center control of the map, whereas most of our ships are scattered in kind of a horseshoe around them. So maybe we can close in and focus them, or maybe they will use their central position to focus us as we attempt to do that and take us out. So I'm backing up because I don't want to advance too much and get overextended. There's also 2 battleships down there, the Normandy and the Britannia, so I don't want to, face off against those 2 guys. There is a Fuso over here, though, that I'm going to have to pay attention at and look out. But I do have a Prince Idol Friedrich supporting me, so hopefully he will get the attention if the Fuso does come around this corner. There's a Hatsuharu approaching as well, but he's way too far away. The Normandy and the Britannia are a little bit too far away for me to get some shots off. Let's see, I can arc some shells over the island, so I do it just in case I might get a hit. The Fuso continues to turn. He's actually turning his head onto me. I was hoping to get a torpedo salvo off on him, but as you can see by the predictor, he is actually turning away from an ideal shot. And I check by peeking over the island, his guns are aimed this way, so I don't want to just pop out in front of this. If I do, I'll get a broadside in the teeth, and that'll be the end of the Grasse. So I'm edging slightly forward. Maybe I can get a favorable shot off on him, maybe not. I'm just trying to be kind of careful here. Maybe I can get my torpedoes off, because now he's starting to turn back. It's kind of, a do or die thing if I actually stick my nose out, so I decide I'm going to reverse instead and try to prepare a better ambush than what I have. Of course, the enemy fighters pop up overhead and ruin my ambush because he definitely knows I'm here. I fire some torps anyway, thinking, maybe he'll blunder into them, but they're definitely going to be spotted by the planes that are flying overhead, if not him easy enough to dodge them. So, he's aiming his broadside actually, it looked like he was aiming his guns the other way. But, so now I turn around, and now I'm kind of regretting the fact that I launched my torpedoes early, because this would have been a perfect opportunity to do so. Stick my nose out. Yeah, his forward guns they're all pointed away, so I can get at least a couple salvos off on him. Firing HE, hopefully he can start some fires. His secondaries open up, and I can already see that his forward guns are turning, and he is turning towards me. He recognizes that I'm the primary threat, and it's time for me to turn tail and run. The Prince Idol is actually reversing, so he's going to be able to get some shots off on him as well. I launch my port torpedoes. My rear turret is the only one that has line of sight. I now angle away again, hoping to minimize my profile towards him and maybe throw off his aim. But he's definitely looking at me at this point, and I'm going to take a hit, and hopefully I can survive it. I switched to... I think that might have been a mistake if that was an AP shot. Sometimes I get a little excited and hit the wrong number button in between salvos. But I definitely have HE loaded now, and I do a little bit more damage, but most of my shells are actually shattering, and so I probably am hitting his hull rather than the superstructure. So that's one thing I always definitely do need to work on. I need to aim better and remember what kind of where the most ideal place on the ship to aim is. Frequently I'm just so used to aiming at the waterline, or at least the armored areas, that I don't do nearly as much damage as I should, and I will probably be a far better player than I am if I actually studied this and worked on it. Sometimes I actually do think about it and I'm like, okay, I'm going to fire at the ship's superstructure, or I'm going to fire at the hull, but most of the times my brain just can't handle the information overload from the battle, so I just, there's a ship, fire at it. See, I can't even speak. I'm so excited by what's going on in this heart-pounding battle. So, I'm now approaching the Fuso again. I really want to get that kill shot. I gotta arc my shells just over the ridge of that island, and I get lucky and I start a fire, but now I'm also exposed, and he's probably gonna aim at me. He's already put the fire out, which means he used his damage control. If I set another fire, I might be able to kill him. His health went up, so he must have kicked off his repair party as well. My port torpedoes are taken out. Waiting for those guns to reload. I did start another fire. A little bit more damage. Come on, Fuso. Keep burning. Okay, now I'm too close to the island. The problem is that he can see me, and if he keeps reversing like that, he's going to be able to shoot over the low part of that island and kill me. But there's no need, because my ally, the Prince Idol, is fortunately able to take him out, and, well, I wouldn't say he saved my life, but, because I probably could have taken him out eventually, but he definitely helped, and so kudos to him. So looking up at the map, we definitely have the advantage now. We are up, it appears to be 2 ships. They have just 2 destroyers, a cruiser, battleship, and their carrier, whereas we have 2 cruisers, 2 battleships, 2 destroyers, and our carrier. So I'm going to follow the Prince Idol into the center of the map because we have eliminated all the enemy ships on this side, and probably head towards their cap. If you look down at the cap, our T-61 is already in there. And that might be, if we can get to him fast enough, we can definitely support him and win the game. On the other hand, he's in a dangerous position right now, and he might get killed. So we start taking shots at the carrier, who's already at very low health, so the T-61 has definitely been damaging him, probably getting some health from the Perth. And the Prince Idol gets another kill by taking out the carrier at long range. So now they just have the Britannia in the camp, maybe the Fubuki as well. And if I had to put money on it, I would give it to the T-61, just even though it's at low health, because he just has very good torpedoes, he has his smoke, he has hydro, he just has all the advantages that the Britannia doesn't. But there I am, I'm wrong. The Britannia actually gets him out, takes him out with a well-placed shot, and now he's alone in the cap. But now our Perth is moving in to take over for the T-61. Both me and the Prince Idol are firing at him as well, and our Fubuki is converging on the cap. Now, it's at this point where I need to make a decision. I can go down with my allies and capture the enemy base, or I can try to help my teammate who is in a battleship facing off against an Aigle and a Nuremberg. Now I figure he's probably going to be okay, because when I look at it, I see both the Aigle and the Nuremberg are very low health. The König is at almost completely full health, but then a Fubuki shows up as well, and then the Aigle launches his torpedoes and completely takes out the König. So that is not good. Nearly full health, and then in one stroke he is completely killed. Does that even make sense? In any case, I have made my decision. I'm going to go support him. Of course, it's too late for that. So now I have to go and face off against those 3 enemy ships, because there is nothing between them and our base. And at this point, I have to admit, I laughed out loud, because apparently a fire I said a little while ago is what finished off the Britannia. Despite the fact that the Prince Idol, the Fubuki, the Perth were all shooting at him at the same time. So now there's really nothing stopping us from taking their cap. So I probably could, just shut off my engines and just kind of wait it out, because there's nothing that's going to stop our team from winning at this point. But just in the excitement of the battle, I don't even think about that. I'm just going to go after these guys, and I'm thinking, I need to protect my carrier, I need to protect the base, and I just lost focus on our cap. I mean, even if I just suicide here, chances are we're still going to win, so this is really an academic exercise in whether or not I can survive this fight against them. There's the first target, it's the Nuremberg, and there's the Aigle. They both show up at the same time. He's already in the cap. I fire shots on him. My shots on the Aigle are good, and that gives me kill number 4. Nuremberg is next. My first salvo missed. Second salvo is closing in. Oh, a little bit short. At this point, if I get one more kill, I will get my Kraken And there it is, Kraken Unleashed. And now there's just the Fubuki left. I want that Fubuki. The more kills I get, the more greedy I get. So I'm asking for my carrier to support me. I actually, as soon as the Koenig died, I was sending messages to him, please give me some intelligence on where these enemy ships are. And he didn't. He just sent his fighters down south to support the cap for whatever reason. But time runs out. We do end up capping their base. I am unable to detect and finish off the Fubuki and get my 6th kill, so I have to be satisfied with my 5th. So I think that the Grasse is a fun ship to play. It's very similar to La Galissonnière, and I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you very much for watching.